when the alien queen's child dashed behind me, the entire palace stood in awe. Prince Kesh bolted from the throne dais, his iridescent scales flashing under the palace lights. Evan Mercer lunged forward, planting himself between the 6-year-old heir and the surging crowd of alien dignitaries. The prince skidded to a halt and darted behind Evan's legs. Tiny claws gripped the hem of Evan's formal coat, bunching the fabric tight. Evan didn't flinch. He scanned the chamber. Towering crystal pillars, a sea of feathered robes and clicking mandibles. The queen's throne elevated above it all. Protocol demanded the child return to her side immediately. But Kesh trembled against his calf. "Stay put, kid," Evan murmured in Terran English, voice low. No translator for whispers yet. Guards snapped to attention. Captain Raul Cora's voice boomed from the perimeter, her armored crest rattling. "Prince Kesh, return to the dais. Formation. Surround and retrieve." 6 royal guards advanced, spears leveled in a precise wedge. Their tips gleamed with ceremonial barbs, sharp enough to pierce hide without scarring, standard protocol for a wandering heir. Evan raised one hand, palm out. "Hold position." He kept his tone even, eyes locked on Raul Cora. The captain halted her line 5 paces away. Her multifaceted eyes narrowed at the human envoy, the only off-worlder in the chamber, permitted as security liaison for this first contact rite. "Envoy Mercer, step aside. You interfere with palace order." Kesh peeked out, his wide eyes fixed on Evan. The boy's tail twitched, brushing Evan's boot. Trust sparked there, raw and childlike. "Not interfering," Evan said. Vela, the palace attendant, hustled forward with her translation orb hovering at her shoulder. She relayed his words in the lilting Val tongue, her feathers fluffing in agitation. The crowd murmured. Dignitaries shifted, claws tapping floors etched with ancient treaties. Queen Soren Val leaned forward on her throne, her regal frills half unfurled. She watched, silent, her judgment the fragile thread holding the ceremony together. Raul Cora ignored Vela. "A spear-line approach. Contain the prince without contact." Her guards tightened grips. Evan's jaw set. Spear-line meant encircling Kesh, barbs inches from his scales. One twitch from the scared kid, and blood spilled. Public incident. Diplomatic disaster. Humans gone by dawn. "No spears," Evan said flatly. Vela echoed him, her voice sharp. Raul Cora's crest flared red. "You presume to command my guard?" "Human, your checklist instincts do not override Vol tradition." Kesh gripped harder, a soft whine escaping. Evan glanced down. The boy's pupils dilated. Classic fear response, human or alien. Something in the crowd had spooked him. Evan followed the gaze. A cluster of off-days nobles from the rival Hive clan, their robes heavier, movements too synchronized. Dread assessment, checklist item 1. Evan knelt slightly, keeping his body as shield. "Prince, what's wrong?" Pointed out. Kesh's claw jabbed toward the nobles. Shadows, bad ones. Vela translated, her orb pulsing. Raul Cora barked a laugh. "Childish fancy." "Secure the prince." Her guards stepped closer. Spears whispered forward. Evan exploded upright, shoulders squared. "Back off, Captain." "Now, English first, then through Vela. Your line risks the air. One slip, and he's cut. You want that on your crest?" The chamber hushed. Queen Surin's frills stiffened, watching Evan defy her guard captain in open court. Raul Cora vibrated with fury. "You dare? I lead here. You lead protocol. I lead protection." Evan didn't budge. His free hand hovered near his hip, unarmed, per treaty, but muscle memory itched. Humans didn't need weapons for this. Kesh pressed closer, scales warming against Evan's leg, bond forming. Unscripted. Vela interjected, voice urgent. "Captain, the envoy speaks truth. Spear proximity violates child safety edicts. Public eyes witness." Raul Cora hesitated. Her eyes flicked to the queen. Soren nodded once, imperceptibly. "Hold," Raul Cora growled. Spears lowered a fraction. Evan exhaled. "Step 1, de-escalate. Now coax the kid. Prince Kesh, we're good. Walk with me to your mother." Kesh shook his head, claws fisting deeper. "You first." Fast human. Evan suppressed a grin. The boy had clocked his reaction speed during yesterday's tour, first adult to match his darting games. Crowd pressure built. A noble's claw scraped stone, too deliberate. Evan's eyes narrowed. Hive clan rivals. Ceremony goal. Seal alliance. Sabotage via chaos. Checklist item 2. Scan exits. Main doors sealed for right. Side arches guarded. Captain, Evan said, your rivals over there, watch their flanks. Ralcora sneered but signaled 2 guards. They pivoted, spears outward. Kesh tugged Evan's coat. Up. Evan scooped him without thinking. Light as a toddler, wriggling but clinging. Public contact, breach of etiquette. Bela gasped. Queen Soren's eyes widened. Evan held Kesh to his chest, one arm secure, the other free for balance. Easy, buddy. I've got you. The boy nestled in, purring. A Vol contentment rumble. Crowd gasped. Humans carried young, unheard. Ralcora advanced alone now. Spear reversed to staff. Envoy, release him. This shames the throne. Shames letting him get jabbed. Evan turned sideways, shielding Kesh from the rivals. Footsteps echoed. Nobles pressing closer under guise of concern. Vela fluttered between. Envoy Mercer risks expulsion. Palace code forbids off-world touch. Evan ignored her, eyes on Soren. The queen's frill edged gold. Curiosity? Kesh pointed again. There. Shadow moves. Evan spotted it. A rival noble's robe sleeve dipped, revealing a toxin dart. Assassin's tool. Subtle for ceremonies. Captain! Dart threat, 11 o'clock! Evan barked. Ralcora spun. The noble froze, dart glinting. Chaos erupted. Guards surged. The assassin bolted into the crowd. Evan pivoted, back to a pillar, cradling Kesh. Stay down! Spears clashed. Shouts filled the air. Vol tongue rapid fire. A dart whizzed past Evan's ear, embedding in crystal. Kesh buried his face in Evan's coat. Evan shielded him fully, heart pounding steady. Checklist, protect asset, evacuate if needed. Ralcora tackled the assassin. 2 down. Guards contained the rivals. Queen Soren rose. Cease! Silence crashed. She descended the dais steps, robes trailing like liquid silver. Her gaze locked on Evan and Kesh. Evan lowered to one knee, presenting the prince. Your heirs, safe, Majesty. Kesh clung a beat longer, then scampered to her side, but paused, looking back. Fast human friend. Soren's frill bloomed full gold. Respect. She addressed Ralcora. Captain, stand down your protest. Envoy Mercer preserved my line without incident. Ralcora bowed stiffly, crest dimming. As you command. His instincts prevailed. Vela beamed, orb dim. Human protocol aligns. Cultural bridge forged. Evan stood, brushing his coat, underestimated again. But the crowd's murmurs shifted, alien awe rippling. Humans, humble, checklist warriors. Soren met his eyes. Envoy, your protection cost public defiance. Trust earned. Evan nodded. Just doing the job, Majesty. Kesh waved from the dais. Bond sealed, but as guards dragged the assassin away, Evan caught a rival noble's glare. Ceremony over. Alliance fragile. More shadows lurked. One checklist down. Next threat incoming. Prince Kesh darted from the dais, claws skittering across polished crystal toward the shadowed rival benches. Evan Mercer dropped to one knee in the aisle, palms up and open at chest height. No sudden grabs. Checklist. De-escalate first. Easy, Kesh. Right here, little prince. The boy's frill quivered, blue, fear mixed with thrill. He froze 5 paces out, head tilting at Evan's steady hands. Curious eyes locked on. Kesh edged closer, 1 step, then 2, ignoring the gasps rippling through the chamber. Evan kept his voice low, human steady. Good choice. Stay with the slow human. Kesh chirped, scampering straight to Evan's knee. He pressed against the fabric of Evan's coat, tiny chest heaving. Bond sparked in that cling, cross-species trust, instant. Guards shifted. Captain Ralcora barked from the perimeter, crest flaring red. Envoy, remove your hands. The prince belongs under royal guard. Evan didn't rise. He slid one palm gently behind Kesh's back, guiding without gripping. Captain, hold. He's calm now. Ralcora shoved forward, armored boots thudding. 2 guards flanked him, spears low but ready. You overstep. Protocol forbids outsiders touching the air. Stand down, human. The chamber hushed. Queen Surin's attendants froze mid-note. Rival nobles leaned in, frills twitching. Opportunity scenting the air. Evan met Ralcora's glare. Heart-ticked checklist. Protect asset. No incident. Captain, I set the perimeter. If Keish gets hurt under my watch, accountability lands on me alone. Full diplomatic fault. Your protocols stay clean. Ralcora halted, mandibles clicking. Insolence. You claim guard rights without oath? Evan nodded once, eyes on Keish. Actions over oaths. Watch. He reached sideways, no rush. Fingers hooked a low-cushioned bench from the aisle edge. Silk padded, ornamental. Evan dragged it smooth, forming a soft arc around Kesh and himself. Next a velvet stool, then a carved screen panel, light as balsa. Furniture walled them in, gentle, blocking stray paths from rivals or exits. No bodies crowding, no spears flashing, perimeter set. Kesh cooed, patting the cushion. Safe nest. Ralcora's crest dimmed to orange doubt. Furniture? This mocks our lines. Vela hurried up, her translator orb pulsing green. Captain, human method aligns. Soft containment prevents panic. Court rules allow cultural variance in first contact. Ralcora snarled. Variance? He defies command. Queen Soren rose from her throne. Silver robes whispering like falling water. Cease. Her voice cracked the vaulted hall. Instruments silenced. All eyes pinned. She descended the dais steps. Frill half-bloomed amber. Judgment pending. Guards parted. Soren stopped before Evan's knee wall, towering yet precise. Her gaze drilled Evan, then softened on Kesh nestled close. Envoy Mercer, steel in her tone. You halt my ceremony. Explain this, barrier. And why my son chooses your shadow over kin. Evan kept palms visible, Keish's warmth against his leg grounding him. Majesty, Keish tested boundaries. Fast, straight to rival seats. Crowded vectors, unknown intents. Grabbing risks royal bruise or stampede. Open hands calmed him. Furniture perimeters contain without alarm, no incident triggered. He's safe. Kesh peeked up. Chirping fast human, soft walls good. Soren's frill flickered gold at the edges. She crouched regal, extending a claw. Kesh took it, but glanced back at Evan, waving one small hand. Ralcora bowed stiff. Majesty, the human bypassed chain of guard. Soren straightened, eyes never leaving Evan. Captain, your chain held the line. Envoy Mercer's broke instinct first. Humans, checklist warriors. Respect colored her words. Frill bloomed fuller gold. Vela's orb brightened. Cultural bridge holds, Queen. Trust forms. Evan rose slow, dissolving the perimeter with a nudge. Cushions slid back seamless. Kay scampered to his mother but tugged Evan's coat once more. Friend, stay. Soren nodded to Evan. You protected publicly, at cost to station. Defiance noted. Trust earned. Evan brushed his coat. Just the job, Majesty. Murmurs swelled, alien awe in widened eyes, crests shifting gold, underestimated human. Humble, effective. Ralcora grunted concession. Instincts, noted. Joint watch. Evan clasped forearm. Human grip, meet alien claw. Joint wins. Ceremony resumed. Queen returned to dais. Notes, swelled anew. Fragile harmony. But Evan scanned shadows. Rival nobles whispered. One glaring daggers. Checklist updated. Assets secure. That vectors live. Then, a whistle sliced air. A crystal dart whizzed past Evan's ear, thunking deep into the dais pillar inches from Soren's back. Shards tinkled. Kesh yelped, bolting to Evan. The boy buried his face in Evan's coat. Evan shielded fully, body curling over. Heart pounded steady. Checklist. Protect. Assess. Down, everyone. Chaos erupted. Ralcora tackled a cloaked figure mid-throw from the rival section. Second assassin. Guards swarmed, containing 3 more suspects in silver cuffs. Evan held Keish tight, scanning for exits. No shots followed. Perimeter held. Queen Soren surged up. Cease this madness. Silence crashed like thunder. She descended again, robes trailing silver fury. Gaze locked on Evan and the clinging prince. Evan lowered to one knee, presenting Keish gentle. Your heir's safe, Majesty. Perimeter worked. Kesh clung a beat longer, then pattered to her, but paused, looking back. Vast human friend. Soren's frill exploded full gold. Rippled her stance. She turned to Ralcora. Captain. Stand down protest. Envoy Mercer preserved my line without incident. Ralcora bowed stiff, crest dimming to neutral blue. As commanded. Methods prevailed. Vela beamed, orb glowing steady. Human protocol aligns fully. Bridge forged eternal. Evan stood, brushing coat dust. Crowd murmurs shifted. Respect waves crashing. Humans, quiet checklist saviors. Soren met his eyes direct. Envoy, your protection cost public stake. Defiance before court. Trust is real now. Evan dipped head. Alliance, strong, majesty. Kesh waved from dais perch. Bond sealed tight. Guards dragged assassins away, chains rattling. Ceremony closed abrupt, but Evan caught it. A rival noble's glare, unblinking from the benches. Shadows lingered. Alliance fragile. Checklist. One threat down. Next incoming. Evan edged closer to the group, hand near concealed stun prod. Vela sidled up. Envoy. That glare. Lord Vexer. Rival house. Ceremony masks plots. Ralcora joined. Spear slung. Joint watch activates. Your perimeter idea, we adapt. Evan nodded. Furniture or spears, we cover angles. Wayne Sarin signaled from dais. Private audience chamber beckoned. Post-ceremony summit. They moved as unit. Evan foreground with Kesh trailing his heels, Ralcora flanking hard, Vela translating whispers. Hallways gleamed, biolume walls pulsing soft. Kesh tugged Evan's hand. More soft walls? Evan chuckled low. Always, buddy. But footsteps echoed wrong behind. Too many, too synced. Ralcora spun. Ambush vector! Evan scooped Kesh. Furniture be damned, checklist roared. Evac now. Blades flashed from side vents. Rival remnants, 5 strong. Evan dodged first slash, stun prod crackling. Zap, down 1. Ralcora speared second, precise thrust. Vela hurled orb, disruptor burst, blinding 2. Evan pivoted, Kesh secure. Perimeter back. He kicked a hall urn, rolling it block. Allies piled benches from niches, soft wall reformed. Last assassin lunged. Evan sidestepped, tripped him into Ralcora's hold. Queen's reinforcements burst in, cells filled. Sarin arrived. Frill gold iron. Mercer. Again.
Evan set Kesh down safe. Team effort.
Kesh hugged all legs. Fast friends. Ralcora gripped Evan's shoulder. Human instincts. Superior in chaos. Vela laughed. Cultural exchange. Complete. Soren extended claw. Alliance sealed. Humans guard as kin. Queen Soren's frill flared gold. The binding ceremony binds us. Houses unite. Under Vol light. Evan Mercer stood rigid beside Prince Kesh. Court chandeliers pulsed biolume glow over 500 aliens. Frills rippled in unison. He scanned fast. Left exit hid behind velvet tapestries, 20 paces. Right sightline swept clean to the balcony overlook. Upper galleries loomed with nobles, sightlines pinched by crystal pillars. The palace stared at him, whispers hissed. Human. Soft-skinned outsider, eyes locked on his unfrilled neck, his blunt claws, novelty bait. Evan ignored them. His gaze locked on the servants' hands. They shouldn't be shaking. Tray balanced mid-aisle. Poison vials glinted under crystal decanters. Position broke the guard pattern, too close to Kesh's dais perch. Vexar ploy. Rival house remnants post-ambush grudge. Kesh bounced on clawed toes. Evan! Watched the lights dance. The prince tugged his robe hem. Fast as a spark rat, eyes everywhere. Steady, buddy. Evan kept voice low. Checklist ticked. Isolate threat. No panic. Captain Ralcora flanked left. Spear vertical. His frill twitched. Protocol locked. Vela hovered right, translating subtle claw flicks from courtiers. Evan leaned to Vela. No time for etiquette. Pull the child's attendant list. Now. Cross-check that tray servant. Vela's eyes widened. Crest feathers ruffled. Envoy during right, Queen watches. Do it quiet. Evan nodded at her wrist pad. Device query. 5 seconds. She tapped. Screen flickered alien script, servant unregistered, House Vexar Auxiliary. Alert? Not yet. Evan eyed Ralcora. Guard commander's gaze drilled the servant. Instinct warred with tradition. Kesh darted forward. Shiny tray. Can I? Evan's hand snapped out. Gentle clamp on shoulder. Stay line, Prince. Lights later. Servant pivoted. Tray tilted deliberate. Decanter tipped toward Kesh's dais. Poison arc. Splash radius 3 feet. Ralcora lunged. Spear swept low. Too slow. Protocol demanded no contact mid-right. Evan moved. Scooped cage mid-stride. Rolled left, tray shattered on marble. Green sludge hissed. Etching stone. Court gasped. Frills spiked crimson. Outrage. Queen Sorin rose. Mercer. Restrain. Guards. Seal doors. Quiet march. No stampede. Evan barked to Ralcora's squad. Voice cut crystal clear. Flank aisles. Block vents. Perimeter hold. Ralcora hesitated. 1 beat, then claws signaled. 10 guards peeled silent. Doors clicked shut. Courtiers murmured. Contained. Servant bolted. Dropped feint tray. Dagger flashed from sleeve. Vexar curve blade. Evan set Kesh behind pillar. Vela, shield him. He charged. Stun prod hummed from belt. Human twitch speed. Servant slashed high. Evan ducked. Prod cracked ribs. Zap. Servant crumpled, twitching. Courtiers surged. Ralcora speared the dagger away. Secure! Vexar filth! Queen's reinforcements swarmed. Claws bound the spy. Cells called, but eyes burned on Evan. He stood amid shards. Robes splattered acid green. Breath steady. Kesh peeked out. Clung Evan's leg. You caught the shiny bad. Evan ruffled the prince's frill. Team catch. Ralcora gripped his arm. Frill low respect. Instinct again. Protocol blinds us. You see breaks. Vela synced her pad. List confirms. 3 more unregistered. Flag now. Queen Sorin descended dais. Court parted. Her claw extended. Not strike, but grasp. Human. Public ward. Costly divergence from right. Evan met her gaze. Blunt truth. Protection first. Ceremony second. She tilted head. Scanned his stained robes. The shake risk hands now steady. Vexar tests us. You shield without demand. Trust costs public face. Kesh piped up. Evan, fast! Like kin. Courtier shifted. Whispers turned. Human guards true. Frills eased teal. Approval. Ralcora nodded. Joint protocol evolves. Your scans lead. Evan exhaled. Checklist cleared. But Queen's claw lingered on his shoulder. Weight of alliance. Ceremony paused. Reinforcements swept galleries. Vela cross-checked lists live. 2 more Vexar plants yanked quiet. Queen signaled resume. Binding continues, with new guardians. Evan resumed post. Kesh glued to his side. Palace eyes shifted. Not stare, but watch. Respect brewed. Hours ticked. Right dragged. Oaths clawed on crystal slabs. Houses pledged spears. Evan scanned relentless. Tagged new sightlines. Balcony snipers nullified by guard shifts. Kesh yawned mid-chant. Boring now? Evan's story? Later. Eyes open. Evan winked. Bond, sealed quiet. Mid-right peak. Gallery rustle. Third plant. Noble guys. Frill hid vial drop toward Queen's dais. Evan spotted tremor. Handshake again. Ralcora. Gallery 12. Red frill 3rd row. Captain spun. Spear arced. Vela disrupted with orb burst. Blinding flash. No harm. Plant tackled. Vial crushed harmless. Queen's voice boomed. Mercer foresees. Humans anticipate. Courtiers bowed frills. Awe rippled. Underestimated no more. Right closed. Houses bound. Cheers echoed. Post right. Private chamber loomed, but Evan lingered court edge. Kesh hugged tight. You, my shield friend. Evan knelt. Always, Prince. Queen approached. Ralcora, Vela trailed. Cost paid public. Face saved by action. Humans ally true. Evan rose. Mutual. Your spears cover what we miss. Ralcora clasped forearm. Human style. Chaos kin. Vela smiled. Cultural bridge. Human checklist beats our scrolls. Doors sealed final. No shakes left, but as they filed to summit, Evan caught a shadow vent flicker. New tray. Hands steady? He tensed. Checklist reset. Queen noticed. Again. Always. Evan moved first. Keish giggled. Fast friends forever. Palace pulsed approval. Trust forged in public fire. Evan scanned ahead. Exits. Tagged. Sightlines clear. For now. The chamber doors hissed open. Summit waited, but whispers followed. Vexar cells overflowed. Rivals plotted deeper. Evan gripped Keish's hand. Palace watched the human lead. Blades waited in vents. He knew. Word count 1427. The tray carrier veered sharp, frills quivering under his servant's veil. Evan shoved Prince Kesh behind his hip. One hand snapped out, gripped the alien sleeve mid-stride. Fabric tore with a wet rip. The concealed injector tumbled free, needle glinting toxin green. Gasps rippled through the summit chamber. Courtiers froze, frills splayed in shock. Evan twisted the carrier's wrist, joint popped, no break. The alien buckled. Tray clattering crystal shards across marble. Evan pinned him face down, knee locking the elbow. Clean control, no blood, no blades drawn. Captain Ralcora, Evan's voice cut the chaos. Injector, scan it now. Ralcora surged forward, spear leveled. He snatched the device mid-air, claws clicking over the readout orb. Neurotoxin. Lethal dose for royals. Vexar mark. Queen Sorin rose from her dais. Her throne guards flanked, but she waved them back. Frills rigid. Eyes locked on Evan. She descended 3 steps, robes whispering. Kesh peeked from Evan's shadow, tiny claws clutching his tunic. Shield friend, fast. The carrier thrashed. Evan leaned weight, immobilizing him. Stay down. Protocol says alive for questioning. Vela darted from the interpreter's alcove. Orb pulsing translation light. He claims error. Tray imbalance. Lies. Sleeve seam custom cut for hide. Ralcora's orb beeped confirmation. Toxin matched the crushed vial from the right.
Second plant. Deeper cell.
Queen Sorin reached Evan's side. Her claw brushed Kesh's crest, drawing him close. The prince scampered to her, but twisted back for one last grip on Evan's hand. You catch bad ones. Evan released pressure as Ralcora hauled the carrier up. Restraints clicked. Guards dragged him to the vents. Shadows flickered empty now. The queen straightened, facing the chamber. Hundreds of eyes watched. Houses of frilled nobles leaned in, whispers dying. Mercer acts. Her voice boomed, precise. Human sight pierces veils. No incident. Ceremony holds. Applause erupted. Frills fluttering in waves. Awe crested. The underestimated envoy stood tall, unscathed, but Evan scanned exits. 2 vents sealed. Trade debris cleared by attendants. Sightlines held. Ralcora clasped his shoulder. Human-style grip firm. Your checklist. Sees what spears miss. Chaos kin proven. Vela nodded. Orb dimming. Court scrolls list threats. You list moves. Bridge holds. Kesh tugged the queen's robe. Mama, Evan my forever shield. Sorin's frills softened a fraction. She turned to Evan, claw extended, not royal wave, but grasp. Cost paid public. Palace sees. Humans protect without shatter. Evan took her claw, firm but yielding. Mutual majesty. Your traditions spot the feints we charge. The chamber pulsed approval. Diplomats from fringe worlds bowed deeper. Trust rippled outward. But Evan's gaze caught a flicker. Gallery arch. Red frill noble shifting. And to pouch? No time. He stepped forward. Keish's hand reclaimed. Prince, stay tight. The group advanced to the summit circle. Crystal table gleamed under orb light. Houses arrayed. Val loyalists. Rival frills tense. Queen Sorin signaled start. Bindings seal. Vexer falls. Signatures flowed. Claws on pads. Evan flanked Keish's seat, eyes roving. Ralcora mirrored opposite. Spears crossed subtle guard. Vela whispered translation. Noble Tykor speaks, praises human instinct, code for awe. Evan nodded, but pouch hand rose. Tykor poured libation. Steady? Checklist ticked. Angle wrong. Pour too slow. Evan moved, slid between Kesh and table. Hand intercepted the chalice mid-offer. Scan first. Tykor froze, frills paling. Custom! Offense! Ralcora's spear tip hovered, orb scanned the liquid. Sedative, slow kill. Chamber erupted, guards swarmed Tykor. Queen Sorin stood again, Mercer foresees twice. Humans anticipate. Kesh clapped. Again. Fast friends. Evan knelt to the prince's level. Giggle later, eyes up now. Sorin pulled Kesh close, but her gaze held Evan's. You shield without claim. Why? Job 1, keep him safe, public or private. Ralcora bound Tykor, Vexar gold in his pouch. Third link, Vela tallied. Cells crack wider, your moves force it. The summit refocused. Binding signed amid cheers, houses pledged spears to Val. But as seals clicked final, Evan spotted vent great shift. Faint steam hiss. Deeper plot. He tensed, hand on Kesh. Queen noticed, frills flared alert. More? She murmured, always scanning. Kesh squeezed back. We get him. Palace guards sealed exits. Whispers turned to roars. Human led the charge. Evan rose, group tight. Corridor loomed. Shadows waited. Ralcora fell in step. Lead. Checklist. Spears follow. Vela's orb brightened. Cultural shift. Humans rewrite scrolls. Sorin nodded once. Trust forged, cost public value eternal. They pushed forward, vent steamed closer. Evan gripped tighter, blades whispered inside. He knew, the grate popped. Evan lunged. Fourth intercept, carrier number 2 spilled from hiding. Injector raised at Kesh's back. No lunge. Evan stripped it clean, pinned with knee lock. Joint control held. Ralcora scanned. Same toxin. Queen scooped Kesh, safe. Chamber watched, frills wrapped. Human normal, Vela translated the murmurs. Extraordinary. Evan rose, suspect bound. Checklist reset. Summit secured, but rivals plotted deeper. Palace pulsed with new respect. Kesh beamed. Shield friend forever. Evan scanned ahead. One more vent, doors hissed to core chamber. Blades glinted. He moved first. Queen's claw brushed his arm. Together. Trust sealed in fire. Word count 1423. Queen Sorin's claw clamped Evan's shoulder. Envoy Mercer. With me. Alone. Evan nodded once. He released Kesh's hand. The prince tugged back. Frills quivering. Shield friend stay? Later, kiddo. Evan ruffled the boy's crest gently. Guards parted. Ralcora's eyes narrowed, but he waved the human team aside. Vela hovered close. Orb pulsing soft blue. Sorin led into a side alcove. Crystal walls. Sealed with a hiss. No windows. No vents. Air hummed sterile. She faced him. Frills rigid. Towering frame blocked the exit. Explain. All intercepts. No lies. Evan stood straight. Checklist first. 3 assassins today. Vent carriers. Injector toxin. Matches your lab scans. I spotted steam shifts. Great vibrations. Hand signals from rivals in the crowd. Her eyes narrowed to slits. You knew their count? No. He met her gaze. Didn't know entry points. Didn't know toxin load. Palace scans missed them. My team fed me crowd flows via implants. She circled him slow. Claws clicked stone. What did you control? Prince's position. Always between threats and him. Knee locks on carriers. No kills. Your guards handled binds. He tapped his wrist. Adrenaline protocol. Scan, isolate, neutralize. Human baseline. Baseline. She hissed the word. Frills flared red. 4 saves. Blades drawn. You moved first. Every time. Evan shrugged. Trained for it. Embassy security. Not hero stuff. Kesh's voice echoed from beyond the seal. Muffled whines. Sorin's tail lashed. Why him? The prince clings to you. Ignores Ralcora. Me. Explain. Evan glanced at the wall. Kid's probably pacing out there. He picks fast reactors. I match his speed. Watch. Mimicked Kesh's fidget. Twitch left, dart right. Voice dropped calm, rhythmic. Hey, Speedy. 1 foot here. Breathe in. Out. What's next? Tag the guard. Sorin froze. Frills twitched mimicry. Your routine? Kid's hyper. Needs anchors. Humans do it with hours. Counts breaths. Names objects. Resets focus. He stood. He latched on after first save. Trusts the grip. The seal hummed open. Kesh bolted in. Straight to Evan's leg. Clung tight.
Play routine!
More bad vents. Baron scooped him up. Prince squirmed but settled. Her eyes bored into Evan. Demonstration works. But you are outsider. Weapon, Ali? Vela slipped in. Orb brightened. Majesty, cultural bridge. Human's oath with grips. Vol with claw pledges. Merge? Soren considered, set Kesh down. Propose exchange. Vela nodded. Evan offers hand clasp. Trust seal. You counter with frill touch. Court safe. Witnesses later. Evan extended his palm. Flat, open, no weapons, just word. Soren's claw hovered. Massive, razor-edged. She pressed light. Frill brushed his knuckles, warm pulse. Balak accepts, but test remains. Kesh cheered. Grabbed both hands. Triple seal! Ralcora loomed at the door, majesty. Core chamber waits. Rivals, circle. Soren released. Frill retracted, debrief ends. Lead, human, prove oath. Evan scanned ahead. Doors parted to the core. Thrones gleamed. Houses assembled. Spears ranked. Whispers hushed as they entered. He kept Kesh centered. Queen's claw brushed his back. Signal. Trust public now. Crowd parted. Rival banners twitched. One lord's frill spiked odd. Evan noted. Steam? No. Hand under robe. Left flank. He murmured. Soren tensed. Ralcora shifted spears. Vela's orb whispered translation. They watched the human. Awe builds. Kesh tugged. Shield up. Evan gripped. Routine kicked. Breathe. Scan. Position. Lord Vrank rose. Voice boomed. Summit tainted. Human metals. Soren's frill flared command. Proof? Vrank sneered. Outsider grips hair. Poisons loyalty. Evan stayed silent. Checklist. Assess threat. No move yet. Kesh piped up. Liar.
Shield friend saved me. 4 times.
Gasps rippled. Frills waved awe. Ralcora stepped forward. Spear low. Witnessed. Human normal. Vol enhanced. Frank's hand twitched. Evan lunged. Grabbed wrist. Injector clattered free. Knee lock pinned. Crowd roared. Soren's voice cut sharp. Fifth. Seized. Guards swarmed. Vrank bound. Evan rose. Reset. Queen mounted throne. Kesh at side. Evan flanked. Her claw tapped his arm. Public now. Houses pledge true, she declared. Spears slammed unison. But Evan's scan caught it. Rear banner shifts. 2 shadows. Vents above throne. He tensed. More. Soren nodded. Together. Cash squeezed. We get 'em. Ralcora barked orders. Spears fanned. Evan moved first. Climbed throne flank. Hand on grate. Vibration hummed. Grate popped. Carrier dropped. Straight at Queen. Evan intercepted midair. Tackle clean. Pinned. Injector crushed under boot. Second carrier lunged from banner. Ralcora speared arm. Precise. Vela's orb scanned toxin. Chamber erupted. Cheers thundered. Human shield. Vol unbreakable. Soren pulled Evan up. Frill touched public. Oath holds. Kesh beamed. Forever. But Evan scanned deeper. Core vents sealed. Rivals broken. One whisper lingered. Deeper plot. Queen leaned close. Voice low. Interrogation continues. Private. After.
Evan nodded.
Checklist eternal. Doors sealed. Summit success. Palace pulsed respect. Human normal etched legend. Yet shadows whispered. Trust cost more. Vela's orb dimmed. Cultural scroll rewritten. Ralcora clasped Evan's shoulder. First time. Instinct joins protocol. Kesh darted ahead. Evan followed. Queen's claw steady. One vent unchecked? No. All clear. But rivals plotted eternal. Evan gripped tighter. Ready. Soren's eyes gleamed. Weapon? No. Ally proven. Trust public. Cost blades. Value forever. Core thrummed. Next ceremony dawned. Evan scanned. Always. Kesh laughed. Tag. You're it. He chased. Palace watched. Awe eternal. Word count 1427. Queen Soren's frill snapped open. The binding resumes. Envoys. Align. Evan stepped forward. Palace eyes locked on him. Whispers hissed from shadowed tears. The human outsider, thrice savior, now in the sacred line. He scanned the vents again. Clear. But protocols demanded precision. One slip, and rivals twisted it into scandal. She placed a claw on his shoulder. Light pressure. Public. Beside Quiche. Your vigilance honors us. Evan nodded. Slid into position. Prince Kesh bounced beside him, tail flicking. The boy's crown marks gleamed. Golden swirls etched into his scales. Untouchable by any but bloodkin. Evan kept hands loose. Etiquette checkpoint. No contact. Chants swelled. Incense thickened the air. Queen Soren led the procession toward the throne dais. Crystal chimes rang from hovering drones. Ralcora flanked the rear, spears glinting. Vela hovered nearby, her orb pulsing translations. Evan caught Ralcora's gaze. Subtle nod. Time for reset. He murmured, voice low but clear. Captain. Rear banner. Shift 2 guards left. Vents need eyes. Ralcora's mandibles clicked. Public view. Every courtier watched. Protocol forbade mid-ritual changes. But the assassin's vents lingered in memory. Captain's eyes narrowed. Human instinct. Bold. Do it. Evan kept pace. Discreet. No halt. Ralcora barked once. Spears, reform banner. Left flank secure. Guards pivoted smooth. Banners rustled. Courtiers murmured. No stop. Flow held. Kesh tugged Evan's sleeve. Play later? Tag Evan grinned. After binding. Stay line. Procession tightened. Chimes peaked. Queen Soren raised the oath crystal. Light refracted across the hall. Aliens bowed frills. Evan matched. Head low, hands open, human humble. Then Kesh darted. The prince broke formation. Tail whipped. He lunged toward a side alcove, chasing a flickering drone. Crown marks flashed, straight into unguarded shadow. Gasps rippled. Ralcora tensed. Spears shifted late. Evan moved. He sidestepped, blocked Keish's path with body alone. No touch. Arm extended, like a gate. Whoa, prince. Back. Danger lurks. Kesh skidded, eyes wide. But shiny. Shiny waits. Evan pointed. Line. Now. Kesh hesitated, then scampered back. Perfect alignment. Hall froze. Queen Soren's claw paused mid-gesture. Vela's orb whirred. Human redirect. No contact. Lawless etiquette. Ralcora strode forward. Public. Mid-chant. He slammed spear butt to stone. Echo boomed. Halt! Guard doctrine shifts. Human call confirmed. All vents. Double watch. Instinct joins protocol. Courtiers erupted. Frills flared in shock. Outsider commands guard. Queen permits. Soren lowered the crystal. Her gaze pierced Evan. Explain, envoy. Evan stood firm. Kesh pressed close. Protective shadow. Assassins used vents. Banners hid them. Prince's path exposed it again. Reset prevents repeat. Public safety over rigid form. Ralcora nodded. First public yield. He speaks truth. My error. Protocol. Blinded. Human sees flow. Vela translated rapid. Her voice amplified. Cultural bridge. Human adapts right without break. Trust etched. Queen Soren's frill touched Evan's arm. Public again. Costly gesture. Equals only. You guard my heir, without sacrilege. Palace expected failure. You forged safer tradition. Cheers built slow. Then thundered. Human shield! Val unbreakable. Kesh hugged Evan's leg. No crown touch. My guard. Forever. Evan knelt slight. Ruffled the boy's shoulder scales. Safe zone. Team effort. But eyes scanned. One tear up. Shadow lingered. Rival envoy, whisper network. Soren resumed. Crystal raised higher. Binding seals. Humans, proven kin. Chance doubled. Guards reformed tighter. Evan felt the shift. Respect hardened. Not awe alone. Trust bought in protocol's fracture. Procession ended. Throne loomed. Kesh stayed glued. Ralcora clasped Evan's forearm. Warrior grip. You teach, we enforce. Vela's orb glowed. Scroll updates. Human etiquette elevates. Queen leaned close as they mounted dais. Breath warm. Private summit follows. Deeper threats. Your checklist? Evan nodded. Eternal. One unchecked? Her eyes gleamed. None. Yet rivals plot. Doors sealed behind. Palace pulsed. Evan gripped Kesh's hand. Loose. Ready. Tag later. Protection now. But the alcove drone? Not drone. Signal beacon. Pulse faint. Evan tensed. Transmit live? Captain. He signaled Ralcora. Alcove. Now. Spears fanned. Too late. Shadow fled. Chase ignited. Kesh squeezed. We get him. Evan bolted first. Human speed. Palace. Awe. Reignited. Shadows whispered deeper. Trust cost chase. Value? Eternal. Queen's voice trailed. Weapon? No. Ally unbreakable. Core vents hummed. Ceremony safer. Plot thicker. Evan pursued. Checklist burned. Protect the line. Evan's boots pounded marble corridors. Shadow ahead twisted through an alcove arch. Prince Kesh's hand slipped from his grip. Boy too slow. Evan scooped him mid-stride, hoisted the child to his shoulder. Hold tight! Kesh's scales clamped Evan's neck. Go, guard! Captain Ralcora's spears clashed behind. Vela's orb bobbed. Translating shouts. Queen Soren's voice cut through. Secure the air first! Evan ignored protocol. Human legs burned faster. He vaulted a low pedestal. Gold inlays flashed under torchlight. Shadow stumbled on a grate. Evan lunged. Fingers snagged iridescent fabric. The figure spun. A rival envoy's aide, eyes wide with Val slits dilating in panic. Evan pinned the arm. A slim injector tumbled free, clattering across tiles. Needle tip gleamed toxin green. Got you. He wrenched the arm back. Ralcora's guards swarmed. Spears leveled. Kesh wriggled down, pointed. Bad sting. Evan nodded, palmed the device. Cool metal biometric lock cracked. Human thumbprint override from earlier scans. Chamber half full. Neurotoxin. Fast acting. Palace-grade assassination tool. He held it high. Threat neutralized. Queen Soren arrived, robes swirling. Her crown pulsed faint biolume. Court attendants froze in the corridor's glow. Report, Mercer. Her voice sliced precise. Evan straightened. Kesh at his side. Injector. Targets. Royals. One jab paralyzes nerves. Stops hearts in minutes. Caught mid-transmit. Beacon signaled success. He flipped the device. Hollow label flickered. Rival clan's mark. Planted during ceremony. Aimed at Prince. Gasps rippled. Ralcora snatched the injector. Scanned it. Verified. Lethal cascade. His mandible clicked respect. Vela's orb hummed. Court records. Human foresight saves line.
Soren's gaze locked Evan's. You pursued alone.
With air. Bold. She gestured attendants forward. Court reconvenes. Present evidence. They marched back. Evan's checklist ticked. Threat contained. No shots fired. Palace intact. Kesh tugged his sleeve. You fast, like wind beast. Evan ruffled safe scales. Team speed. Throne room sealed tight. Crystal chimes rang. Attendants reformed ranks. Soren ascended dais. Kesh scampered up beside her. Evan stood center. Ralcora at flank. Vela projected the injector's holotoxin swirling simulated. Envoy Mercer. Soren projected. Voice amplified. You captured the Shadow Blade. Explain for court. Evan stepped forward. Simple terms. No jargon. Device injects poison. Hits blood fast. Shuts muscles. Breathing. Death in 3 heartbeats. Beacon called for more. Rival clan test probe. Our alliance. He met eyes across tears. Whispers died. Human checklist. Scan shadows. Grab threats. Protect pack. Awe whippled. Scales shimmered in unison. Val sign of calculation. Ralcora nodded slow. Instinct over spears. Serene raised crystal scepter. Human proven. Oath of Thalvik. Bind protector to air. Glow-bathed Evan. Kneel. He dropped one knee. Palm to chest. Human oath adapted. I guard Prince Kesh. Life for life. Court hummed approval. Soren leaned. Rewards follow. Gold vaults open. Titles: Blade Warden of Line. Cheers swelled. Attendants bowed. Evan rose. No grin. Gracious Queen. But request joint drills. Royal Guard protocols. Share with humans. Train together, and promise I keep checklist open. No unchecked threats. Silence cracked. Ral Cora stiffened. Drills? Over gold? Soren's slits narrowed. Assessment. You decline honor? Builds trust, Evan said. Guards in force. I adapt. Together, unbreakable. Kesh bounced forward, mimicked palm to chest. My guard. Drills. Vol, unbreakable. Court, locked. Child's gesture sealed. Tradition unbreakable. Chance erupted. Thou vec. Kin bond. Soren's crown brightened. Granted. Drills dawn. Protocols exchanged. Oath binds. She extended claw. Evan clasped. Warm grip. Equal pressure. Ral Cora gripped his other arm. You teach speed. We teach formation. Vela's orb spun. Etiquette shift. Human humility elevates. Kesh hugged Evan's leg. No crown breach. Run more. Procession reformed. Evan scanned tears. Shadows clear now. Checklist. One more tick. But rival plots deeper. Private summit loomed. Doors parted to inner sanctum. Soren waved guards out. Mercer, Vela. Stay. Kesh clung. Ral Cora posted outside. Chamber hummed. Core vents whispered. Hollow maps flickered. Palace grid. Rival enclaves pulsing red. Soren settled throne. Deeper threats. Injector first strike. Clan Vorash tests us. Your alliance? Worth fracture? Evan pulled chair close. Kesh climbed his lap. Trusted perch. Worth it. Humans checklist alliances. Mutual protection. Show me grids. Vela projected. Vorash whispers. Human weak link. Soren tapped map. They envy first contact. Probe ceremony for weakness. Her gaze pierced. You chased. Cost public. Protocol bent. Cost buys trust, Evan said. Public eyes see. Human guards air. No incident. Kesh poked hollow. Bad clan boom? Not yet. Evan traced evasion routes. They flee to vents. Seal them. Ral Cora burst in. Protocol breach. Vorash envoy demands audience. Claims innocence. Soren's scales flared. Admit. Test Mercer's word. Evan stood. Kesh down. I join. Checklist. Verify lies. Corridor again. Vorash envoy waited. Tall. Spines arched aggressive. Lies. My aid stolen. Evan held injector. Yours. Scan matches. He activated hololog. Beacon ping to Vorash ship. Envoy recoiled. Court gasped. Ral Cora spears tightened. Soren spoke. Exile. Ships impounded. Envoy snarled. Humans poison alliance. Kesh stepped forward, palm to chest. My guard. Go away. Laughter broke tension. Vol chuckles deep. Envoy dragged out. Back in sanctum, Soren poured crystal nectar. Trust costs public fracture. You paid. We match. Evan sipped. Tart, alerting. Drills first. Then hunt Vorash roots. Ral Cora entered. Dawn formation ready? Human speed integrated? Lead. Evan said. Kesh yawned. Scales dimming. Sleep with guard? Soren nodded. Bond holds. Evan carried boy to alcove bed. Soft hum lights. Kesh curled. Tail over Evan's boot. Forever team. Checklist burned. Protect line. Public cost paid. Trust sealed. But vents hummed wrong. Faint pulse. Second beacon. Evan tensed. Hand to calm. Captain. Perimeter scan. Night deepened. Drills waited. Threats plotted. Dawn broke with clash of spears. Palace yard gleamed dew slick. Royal guards formed ranks. Scales oiled. Spears synced. Ral Cora barked. Human variant! Mercer demonstrates! Evan stripped jacket. Speed drill. Shadow chase. He nodded. Kesh boy perched on rail, cheering. Threat flees. Guards pursue. He bolted. Humans dried 8 ground. Vaulted crate. Slid under beam. Guards followed, clumsy at first. Spears dragging. Ral Cora matched pace. Adapt! Evan halted at mark. Now formation. Spears wide. Eyes high. They drilled ours. Vol endurance shone. Guards held lines flawless. Human speed plugged gaps, sweat mixed. Respect built, Vela noted. Protocol fusion. Human instinct Vol steel. Soren watched from balcony, crystal raised. Alliance drills victory.
Kesh ran laps. My team best. Lunch summons.
Evan wiped brow. Checklist. Bond stronger. But Ralcora pulled aside. Borash ship fled. Beacon trail to outer rims. Evan nodded. Hunt, next. Queen called. Mercer. Deeper oath. He knelt. Ready. Trust cost chase. Drills. Public eyes. Value. Lines secure. Rivals trembled. Alcove shadow flickered. Third, Evan spun. Empty. Checklist eternal.